Secretary Mayorkas has basically forced his immigration policy on the country against the laws passed by Congress, and the result has been thousands of dead Americans, human trafficking, cartels. We're going to look at the facts and make a decision on whether or not he should be impeached.
House Republicans putting immigration front and center with a planned hearing this week, doubling down on their push to impeach DHS Secretary Mayorkas over his handling of the crisis. It comes as Mayorkas visits Eagle Pass, Texas tomorrow, where more than 12,000 migrants illegally entered the small town of 30,000 in the last week of 2023 alone. Cochise County, Arizona Sheriff Mark Dannels joins us now. Sheriff, thanks for being with us this morning. You know,
thanks for having me.
We do this story. I think I've been out to your county in the past, and I was looking at the numbers, Sheriff. It's almost, we remind the public, we talk about this story, and yet it doesn't cease to be staggering. Just a few short years ago, something like 500,000, we're up to over 3 million in a fiscal year. I know you see it on the ground. What do you make of what's happened in a short amount of time?
Well, let me just say this about Secretary Mayorkas. When it comes to it, there's two things I look at anytime that somebody's put in a position of leadership. Number one is his leadership working? Are people following him? And I'll just say this. I have yet to find a Customs or Border Patrol agent to walk up to me or work with me and say, Sheriff, this is working. Secretary Mayorkas. In fact, if you took a poll within CBP, it'd be damning to the reputation of Secretary Mayorkas. Second of all, sheriffs throughout the country have a vote of no confidence against Secretary Mayorkas based on his lack of action, based on his policies, and that's why you see the border and what it is. And that's why the sheriff stood up on that. Second of all, this is something we forget. He took an oath of office similar to I did, and that is to protect our communities, to protect our country. You got to ask the question, has it been successful? And we all can agree, no, it has not. And last not least, well, I'll say this to you and to the viewers today, is the fact that, yes, he owns his decisions, but we own, the American people own his reputation, and that's not a good one to have right now.
So you said two separate things I want to follow up on. First of all, the violation of his oath, and that seems to be a topic where we could talk about the effects of an impeachment. But the first thing you had to say is whether or not it's working. And I guess I would only challenge you in this respect. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish. And that's more of a political decision or a political question than it is a competency question, because this is at such a high level of incompetency, presumed incompetency, that it's almost hard to imagine. So you'd say, well, this is actually the purpose. It is working to fulfill a political goal that is above Mayorkas. So what would impeachment actually accomplish? This is a decision from an administration level, and he might be doing a bang-up job of accomplishing their goal.
You're 100% correct on that. The intended consequences is what we're addressing today. And this starts with President Biden. Let's not even forget that. But either way, he took an oath to protect the homeland. That is his job description. That is his oath. Mm-hmm. He set that aside. He set America aside for political values and ideology over the people. That's where I say he failed.
And so then, therefore, the question is back to your oath, and you brought it up again, which I think is apropos, is that's a question not just for Mayorkas, but for Biden in defending, as you mentioned, your community and our Constitution. And lastly, before I go, very quickly, just give me an update on your community. Like, what has changed over the last couple of years since I've been to Cochise County?
Well, it's a slippery slope. Since you've been here, we'll take back the visit you had here about a year and a half ago compared to where we're at today. Last 2 years, we booked 2,884 people in my jail for border-related crimes at a cost of $9.3 million to the taxpayers, just on border-related crimes, for international crime, for people making crimes next to the border. It is a tragedy. It happens every day. Public safety, national security, and humanitarian, we see it every day.
Yeah, I know that you do, and I know that it's only metastasizing despite the best efforts of sheriffs across this country. It'd be nice to see, I think it would be nice to have somebody who's interested in actually correcting the problem, not just failing to, but interested in trying to correct the problem. Sheriff Dannels, always great to see you. Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.